Welcome back to another Create Mod episode. In the last one, we set up the system you see behind me, where we are getting wood over from the wood farm there, bringing it over, turning it into charcoal, coal, to ink sacks, to glowing sacks, so we could get unlimited hyper experience. Honestly, the only thing we need is to just give this deployer an infinite amount of these things, and he will be good to go forever. With the hyper experience, we also now have efficiency 6, unbreaking 4, sharpness 6, feather falling 5, depth strider 4, seal speed 4, and the coolest one, Swift Sneak 4, where we are just going at normal walking pace all the time now, which is insane. But we are moving away from enchanting today, and we are instead working outside. As you can definitely see by the title and thumbnail, because there's no chance that I'm gonna avoid this, we are building the final build, and it's not like a building, it's a cool archway. We're also, and this is probably gonna take up most of the work, not even the archway, we are terraforming this entire area in this episode. I'm very excited. This is going to take a lot of resources, a lot of blocks. I think probably 10,000 blocks total, but it's a good thing we have a moss farm, cobblestone, stone, and a site and gravel farm. But we need to get the materials together for this. I don't know what exactly we need, so let's just grab as much of everything as we can, and then we can get into the build. And in this material gathering session, I'm not going to talk about the materials that we need, because who cares? But we did need a new backpack, which I upgraded to diamond level just so that we can have all these items in there, because we need a ton of them. Instead, during the session, I'm going to just talk about my favorite types of foods, and I'm going to include just a bunch of different categories here. I think first of all, for fruits, bananas gotta be top 3. I don't know what else could be above that. I think strawberries are delicious, and I think blueberries are pretty good. But I think for just like vibes wise, I think bananas are top tier. And then I think I would go blueberries and then strawberries as my top 3 for fruits. For vegetables, I'm gonna give it to broccoli. I feel like broccoli is the only one that's kind of reasonable. And then maybe corn as a far distant second, but I'm a big broccoli guy. For the real, just like general foods, number 1 favorite food ever, it's gotta be ice cream. Ice cream is delicious. I have it so often. I make my own ice cream. I've been starting to do that because that's been fun. And then I think next is probably, it's gotta be just a steak. I love me a good steak. I only make like sirloin steaks, which is like the cheapest steak level, but it's just delicious. And if you get enough butter, it can make anything taste good. I guess maybe then butter should be my favorite food, but I think steak is the best favorite food. But who knows? My third favorite food in the food group category of general foods probably just has to be, I feel like pizza's such a lame answer, but pizza's delicious. I had one really bad pizza in Finland, but I think that was just the place that we got it. But who knows? Maybe Finnish pizza's bad or worse than American pizza. Who knows? And then finally, I am going to say my favorite drink is chocolate milk. Okay, we're back to real life. Go! And that is now done. I cannot tell you how excited I am that I have a farm for literally everything. The only thing I need to do is wait for moss to grow and generate and farm, and that didn't take too long. And we still have a bunch extra if we need to do this again. But these are all the ingredients we need. Almost 2,000 andesite, almost 2,000 cobble, gravel, moss, huff, and you can probably tell what kind of color scheme we're going for the main archway if you didn't see the thumbnail somehow. But we're going with this kind of vibe. It's going to be very exciting. I think we have everything that we need to get started on this, so I guess let's get going. I do need to tear up this stone brick stuff, but we'll do that, I think, during the time lapse. So yeah, let us start building the final base build of the base. Cue the music. Let's go. And in this time lapse, I am just going to talk about the process that I went through making this. So as you can almost certainly tell, these blocks are being placed and I'm over there mining stuff, which means something funky's going on. And if we go back to the main kind of zoom out way, you can see over on like the left middle side of the screen, I'm going to put a circle around it in editing because that's what I'm doing right now. And I can tell you that because it already happened, that I'm actually using a schematic cannon to place all the blocks. And it's kind of obvious. It's like if you put a 3D printer into placing these Minecraft blocks for us, but I had to still design it in creative. So I'm counting it. We have a couple of things here that I want to go over. We are building a ton of terrain in a short amount of time. There's no way that I would be able to do all this by hand. And then separately, we're building a bridge, which I just kind of copied over from the other way and like expanded it, made it fit the vibe of the area. And then over on the right-hand side, you can see that we are building the archway out of granite and sandstone, which I think fits the vibe of the main factory that you can see in the back, and then the kind of train station that's mainly sandstone and mangrove and all that jazz. And you can see threw in a little Kindle there, but that was kind of what I went with. We are already done, so let's get back to the world. This looks so good. We do have a little bit of cleanup left to do. The schematic cannon that I used is not super great at removing blocks, which is good, because then it would have removed everything on the inside here, and that would be horrible. So we just have to go around and clean up any of the grass blocks that are still here. I honestly don't mind the flowers. You can see that the schematic doesn't actually update the flowers, because if I like placed a block next to it, this would pop off right away. So I honestly don't hate keeping those there, but we do need to kind of go around trimming the edges here and breaking all these extra grass blocks down, since they aren't really good looking and they just super don't fit the vibe. And there is this little sliver that I didn't do because, again, it's schematic cannon is doing it for me. So we'll have to go back and do that one as well. Again, that won't take too long. We just have to switch out all of these blocks for stuff that combines the two sides, and then we are all good. You can also see that I started working on, and I guess gravel is bad, I started working on setting up this whole thing here, which will eventually block the minecart and everything else from getting in the way. We can now actually remove this. Uh-oh. There we go. And now that rail is there, and it'll just keep going back and forth pretty much for eternity, which double points means that we can use block skidoodles and place them here. So we won't even have an area that's annoying or anything like that. It'll just glitch through the blocks and continue, which is awesome. We also have a bit of work up here to do, but that's easy. And gravel falls. Who knew that it did that? So we'll go around and place in some gravel and stuff. But otherwise, it looks so good. The terrain looks so cool. We are probably just going to have to continue this around the area and have it like peter out at some point. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. We will get to it eventually. And then I want to do a little bit more terraforming in this area here to get the full base looking good. But then we will be done the main base. The main base will be fully completed. And I feel like this is a really good monument for the season. I tried my best to combine all of the vibes. We have kind of the white, the quartz, which is what we are using up for most of the detailing. And then we have granite as kind of the main factory building, and sandstone as the train station. The barn up there, kind of separate, but still ties in with this. And I think for the future, the only thing that I would change about this base is the uniformity. We have so many different build styles, and I think if I just combine them all into one style, like I think this one is my favorite, the train station vibe. If I could all do this style, redo the whole thing and just do it with this style, I think this would be my favorite base ever. How did this get flicked? But that's what you get when you're building... Oh, I'm wearing a helmet. What in the world? It's because I needed to mine underwater. But that's what you get when you're playing a game and you're building a bunch of stuff, and you don't usually do that. Normally, I play for like a week and a half and then I peter out. But this has been going for... What month are we in? 10/20. We've been playing for 10 months. This is 10 months of progress. This is almost a year of my life, and if you've been watching the whole series from the start to finish, of your life too, which is insanity. And just looking at it from here, I have never looked at it from this angle. This is insane. This is wild that I have built all of these things. You have joined me along with the journey. You have suggested a bunch of stuff, minecarts, trains, a bunch of different things with the builds, with the lights, with the trees, with the farms, with everything. And it is so close to being done. And that is wild. What we could do, and I just thought of this, we could throw in obsidian and try to make this a nether portal. I don't know if that would work, if it's too big, but if this was a nether portal, that would be the most metal thing in existence. We'll try it in creative. I will see if it works, because there's no chance I'm breaking all these things and then going and it not working. I do also, oh my gosh, I forgot to, so I need to put in framed blocks for those. I think they're called framed pillar. There we go. These are super easy to make. I just need to get them, and that will fully tie the thing together. The framed pillars are basically just walls that don't connect to anything. and I want those for sandstone bits. And they just go in a simple way like this and that. And then we can bang, bang. And that just adds a little bit of connection between the two kind of arch bits. We'll go over this a little bit more. I just want to finish the build. And there we go. That is all of the sides done. I want to talk about how I made this, because this took way longer than you would expect. I think the biggest thing is scale. This needs to fit in with everything else here. And in order to get scale down, it kind of needed to be around this size. I wanted to have like my name or logo incorporated with it, and I tried for so long to get like a little fire emblem or like a little pixel art fire, but in just like stonework in here and working. The unfortunate thing is that there's no way to do that with a 3 wide gap. As you can see, there's just not enough space. And if I wanted to do little fires, this would need to be like this big. And that would just look stupid. That would make everything look small. Ugh! I have no fuel. It would make everything look small. It would just make no sense. So we settled on just Kindle on both sides, because I'm humble like that. And just some cool, simple artwork that isn't too much, but is pretty simple. And then on the insides, it just draws your eye to more simplisticness. But we're still not leaving any flat walls, because nobody likes flat walls. Those are kind of lame. I also forgot to mention that we made a full bridge. We made an entire bridge. That was all of that episode, was making a bridge. When we made that last bridge, this is just that. And we made just, I think it's pretty much a direct copy, maybe a little bit longer or shorter, I forget. But it connects up the island again. We have a perfect looking bridge, and just looking at the base, we are so close to being done. I'm so excited for it. It looks so, so, so good. But we're not done this episode yet. We still have a bunch of stuff to do. Now that we've made the arch, I'm going to go check real quick in creative if that's another portal or not. But we need to head down here into our area over here, and we can actually change this up so that there is just a straight wall here. That'll be easy to do because we don't need this whole area now, which I guess is good, guess kind of bad also, but it's less work for me, which I'm counting as good. And then, as I mentioned, we'll come back to this in a second, but I want to finish up the little connections here and just clean up the area up here, because obviously when you're using schematic, it's not going to work perfectly. So we're just going to finish up like this little bit. Mainly this area here is just going to be cleaned up, fully working, and looking incredible. But I will check if I can make this another portal, because that would look so cool. All right, we are in creative. And I've never seen something that looks this bad. It does work. We make a portal big enough, but oh my goodness, is this the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life, so we are not doing it. Absolutely not. Oh, I'm so sorry for your ears. That scared me. Okay, no portal, but the arch is still cool by itself. And you can see out onto the horizon. So let's get back into the actual survival world. And I wanted to see what this looks like with shaders on. I have not actually looked at this. So this is what it looks like. The sun is coming from back there for now, so we probably want it to wait until it is sunset. But if we're looking at this thing, this is so cool. Wow. What a view of the base, the build. Everything with it. Can I increase my render distance? Oh, max that baby out. You can see the main mega factory, at least the pillars in the background. It looks pretty cool. I think this is a really good final build to the main 4 sections. I didn't know what this was going to look like at the start of the series, but this looks so cool. It just looks dope. All right, that's enough gushing over the build. It looks great, but we are done. I need to finish up this little bit here, which shouldn't take too long. All we have to do is go around replacing all of these blocks with just other ones, which is now done. And now we just have to set up this little wall here. I think I'm just gonna do a lot of tuff here, because we've been doing that in a lot of other places, and I think it looks the coolest. All right, that part is covered up. We just threw in some tuff and some other blocks there. And now I think if we just go around placing in gravel where all of these holes are, I think that actually will fix the issue. So I think when the schematic one was going through, it was just placing stuff in incorrectly. There we go. That looks a little bit cleaner here as well. And I think that is all of the stuff here out of the way. We just now have to quickly jump through here. Can I actually get in? I don't think I can. That's okay. Oh, I should also finish up this little area here. This won't take any time at all. There we go. That's covered in. I want to get just a few more things in here. And there's not really a focus or a plan with this area for like terraforming purposes, but I do want to kind of blend this in with the main area of the base here. We're probably going to set up some trees and stuff, maybe even a fence to kind of block off the train tracks, because believe it or not, it's not good to have people walking on train tracks. It's super dangerous. So we're probably going to set that up in a future episode maybe, but for now I'm okay with the terraforming here. Let's head down underground so that we can get the walls set up for this area here. It really, hopefully, should not be that much. And there we go. That is set up. I like the being able to see the lava and the belts, so we're keeping that there. We just closed it off. It looks cool. It fits the vibe of everything else, and I think we are good with that. With all the cleanup out of the way for all the building and stuff, I want to switch gears to something a little bit more technical. It's not a ton more technical, but it's more technical than placing blocks in pretty look. And it is, if you could tell by my inventory, placing down some more rails. Because even though there's no purpose at all, I've already built all the things that I want to make one more huge farm that I haven't really discussed. And it has to do with putting something kind of far away up here. That's right. I want to make a guardian farm, but as you can see, the track and path to get there is what? Probably 1,000 blocks away, and most definitely further if we go around the base this way and up. And then if you double that, because we need a train track there and back, it's a lot of tracks. So I think the only thing we need to do is just to go until we can no longer go any further. And it is a really good thing that I have an automatic train track thing, and I guess we'll need to do some terraforming while we're at it. So there's not a super fun way to do this other than to just go along. And I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but given this, it is going to be a minute. It will look so cool once we have the train system in though. I think what I might do is set it up so that it's in line with this set of blocks here, and then just have a straight shot all the way down and then have it go over. That's probably the best use of my time and resources. And what we might even be able to do is once we get to over here, like this line right here, we can make a train that places in and like places all the blocks and destroys all the things that we need while we're building it so that we don't even have to do that. And I think that would be the ultimate goal. The biggest issue right now are the trees, because holy cow. What a great transition, old me. This is new me speaking now. I have no idea what I'm talking about for this whole thing, so we're going to talk about my favorite animals. Number one, not a cow. I have probably a dog, because it's a pet. And then number two, foxes. I feel like foxes are cool and they're better than cats. I feel like they're cat vibed, but not cats. And then we did see a bear while we were driving semi-recently. It was on the side of the road being all like teenager bear, and that was pretty cool. So that's number three favorite bear. And then number four, favorite animal, horse. I don't know. What other animals are there? Oh, a dung beetle. Those guys are funny. Why do they roll the poop? Who knows? They're having fun though. And then probably after that, maybe giraffes. Why are they so tall? What are they hiding from? And with that incredible commentary, we are actually done and can go back to normal me. We have officially made it to the ocean monument with one of the train tracks. Now it's time to get the other set. And I don't know what we're going to do over here, what kind of station we're going to have. So I'm just going to leave them kind of terminating here, but we can head back. Hello, Mr. Raccoon. And I want this to be just a 3-block gap between the two sets of train tracks. That's what I have over in the main area with the 2 bridges that we have. So 1, 2, 3, and right here. We have to go back and check. I don't know how many blocks it actually is. I think it's just 3, but I don't want to get it wrong. That first one was quite a doozy, and I bet I talked about it during the speed time-lapse block placement, whatever thing you call that. I don't know. But breaking down all the trees was a hassle. If I'm doing that again, I think the plan would be to lay down all the track and then have the train have an automated mining thing system to break all of the leaves and stuff in the nearby area, probably like a 5x5 or whatever. And I think that'll be good. Maybe even a 10x10 you could do. and it wouldn't even be that much effort. I was correct, and then it's 3 total blocks between the edge of the industrial iron, but that's not super helpful since we need to now get this over to the other one, and I think that's in line. And this is going to be pretty much an identical process to what we just did, but instead of placing blocks through trees, hopefully all of them have already been mined. And honestly, I have no idea if it actually was, but you don't care, neither do I, so let's continue to talk about the more important thing, my favorite animals. Actually, never mind, we're already done the time lapse. There we go, we've gotten this connected up between the 2 tracks, and now we just have to go way over this way with it, all the way up, and wind it around and bring it up to there. This hopefully shouldn't be too bad since we've already done most of the tree breakage that we will need to do, but it is still a bunch of blocks being placed, and I honestly don't know if we have enough train and rails to do this. We are on the very final stretches here. I just have to get over this hill, mountain. It's a hill. It's not a mountain. And then we will be there. I have had so many struggles with getting all this stuff up here, but we're on the final stretches. I ran out of food midway through this. This is the first time I've ran out of the new food source of the like super crazy infinity saturation one, which I suppose is good. I guess that's good news. That means it's working and it's saturating me, but that's it. We are here. I don't know what we're doing with this stuff yet, so we're not going to continue setting up a, what's the word called? Train station. We're not going to do that in this episode, but we will have that and the, hopefully, Guardian Farm in the next episode. And then we can set up everything we need for that. These are all connected. This is under the ground. Sick. But other than that, everything is all good. And I'm just going to go back through here just to make sure that the track isn't under the floor. But I came up through here and I think I got most of them. But there we have it. Train tracks are in, and if we look at the map, I think it's going to look really, really cool, and I was so right. I had this train track go kind of diagonally down along the coastline, and then it meets up with the other one and goes all the way up north to eventually we will get this whole system in. I'm not sure if I want to do a bridge and have the train station at the monument itself or something else. I have no idea. But we will do all of that next episode. With that though, I'm going to leave this episode here. We made so much progress in this episode. At the beginning, this was all dirt and gross. There wasn't a bridge. There wasn't a monument. This was all dirt and nothing. We made 2 cliff sides, a bridge, a monument, and built a railroad that spans thousands of blocks that you can see on the minimap here. It looks super cool. And we will finish that off next episode. But for now, that'll be it. So thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to like. You're on episode 42 or something, so subscribe if you're not somehow. I think only 11% of my viewers are subscribed, so subscribe. It helps the dopamine kick in. But I will see you all next time. Peace.